Hello, I'm coming to you from the future. What year? Why, 2014. ACE. Life in the future is great. Google has now taken over the United Nations and made us all their slaves under their tyrannical dictatorship. Oh, but no one could hate Google. But you know, we don't actually speak English anymore. I'm translating my voice into your ancient natural language through Siri on my iPhone 29CS Alpha, newest model. What language am I actually speaking? Klingon? Don't be a nerd. I'm actually speaking to you in Lojban. It's become quite popular, and it's actually not the future for you. Lojban was invented in 1987 CE, and even with your ancient technology, the internet has seen a growing following for this logical, constructed language designed to ease human conversation, remove ambiguity, allow emotions to be easily expressed, and create clear communication for all. And it's a completely non-nerdy language to learn. But I heard that some people of your time have some misconceptions about the language. I suppose, given your limited knowledge of the universe, you must need some explaining. Very well. Number 1. It's hard to learn and use. No, it's probably the easiest language in the world to learn and use. There are very clear patterns to the words, and there are only 1,300 root words, and the entire grammar is 100% contained and explained within the 600-page reference grammar. 600 pages? That's enormous! Well, try any other language. Try to explain the rules of any other language in 600 pages. Well, with all the irregularities and stuff, it could go on for thousands. Number 2, it's not practical. There are already full translations of books as well as many original works, forums, and chat rooms where people communicate without knowing each other's native language. Some say 1,300 root words is not enough to cover all of human communication. But there are thousands of words that can and have been created through compounding and borrowing and adding new root words if necessary. Take, for instance, the fact that the internet was nearly non-existent in 1987 when the language was invented. But now the internet has become a huge part of our lives. That's why the word Kibro was invented and voted into the dictionary. Number 3, it's sterile and stagnant. The Complete Lojban Language gives a detailed algorithm for creating new root words, compound words, structured words, and borrowed words. But aside from root words and structured words, it's really not that difficult to add and vote on new words on the site. You should be careful about it, but really there's more of a laissez-faire attitude with word usage. If the grammar's alright, and as long as you and the audience understand it, everything's cool. And it's certainly not stagnant. In just 11 years of the website being up, we've gone from 1,300 root words to over 22,000 words overall. There are new words being added all the time, but there are very few new root words that have needed to be added. So you can still gain a really large vocabulary from a small one. Number 4, it's only for logical purposes. After all, it is called the logical language, and it certainly is very logical, but that's certainly not its only application. It's probably the most artistic language ever developed. All root words in Lojban begin in consonants and end in vowels, and this makes sentences have a really nice flow from one word to the next. It's just a stream of words. Another thing is you can technically change the ending vowel on all these root words if you're given a poetic license. It's not actually part of the grammar per se, but the root words were actually designed where the first 4 letters would be what was distinguishable about the word. So take the word prenu. There is no prena, prene, preni, or preno. And this was actually made for affixes, because pren can be an affix to attach it to another word in compounding. But the after effect of this, when it comes to poetry and songwriting, is that you can actually change that ending vowel to anything you want, and the word still retains its original meaning and its uniqueness just by those first letters. So you can make any word rhyme at the end with any other word, and that is very liberating to poets and songwriters. Another thing is you can assign words with specific meanings with the words goy and shay. Goy is for subjects and shay is for predicates. You can use these words to assign an entire paragraph or more of information to just one word. This is extremely liberating to writers because it means they are no longer bound by predetermined meanings assigned to words. You can make any word mean whatever you want by assigning it. The language also has a set of attitudinals, which are emotion words like wow or whoa. Only Lojban has a little word like those for pretty much every emotion you can think of. So it definitely has many logical applications. It definitely has a lot of potential with science, international relations, computers, but it also has many emotional and artistic possibilities too. Number 5, you can't be ambiguous. You must be specific all the time. This may be the most common assumption. When people hear that the language has an unambiguous grammar, they get confused. You can be ambiguous if you want to. There are no words with multiple definitions. The grammar is not ambiguous. There are no words like two, and two. If I say the word prenu, which means person, you know I mean a person. It could be a happy person, a sad person, a lucky person, or an unlucky person, but until I specify the concept, it is ambiguous. But the word is not. Prenu means person. Nothing more or less. It can't be defined any other way. The language itself doesn't get in your way. You can be as ambiguous or specific as you want. So with that said, I hope I've cleared up things. Now I'm off to eat my galactic veggie sheep's brain soup.